Okay, welcome to drawing the stack for the first stack for the train. In fact, I think I may do this in three parts. I've got three stacks. Um, Depending on how they go, I might put them all together. We'll see. So here's the first one. This is the stack. Um, so let's first look at the plans. Oh, this is in Fusion 360, by the way. All right, so here's the plans, or the drawing, as it were. I often say plans because right now I'm building a house, and these just look like plans to me. So it looks to me like we're going to go and follow this. So I would recommend that you also follow it. Looks like what we're going to do is go 1/4 inch. In fact, I'm going to show you a different way. We're going to look at the general shape of the whole thing. This is 1 inch wide by 2 inch tall. We'll do that first, and then we'll put the pieces that we want to save, trim off the parts that we don't. Notice that right here, in order to hold that to be 1/4 inch all the way, it doesn't quite go straight there. I'll explain that too. So that's how we'll roll with this one. So I will go ahead and set this on my desktop, and you can refer to yours as we go. For this one, it doesn't really matter which way because this thing is the same all the way around. So I'm going to go ahead and default to the front view and start out by drawing. Oh, wait a minute. I've got to make sure that my document settings are set to inches, and they are. I think I changed that for us. That's great. Now I'm going to go ahead then and I move my mouse this direction, and I'm doing 1 inch wide by 2 inches tall. All right, let's zoom in a little closer like that. All right, now we're going to start with a little piece right here as we look at the plan. It's going to go to the right 1/4 inch, 0.25, and we're going 0.5 high. Remember, to get between these two fields, you just press tab. Press enter when you're done. So we'll start up here at the top. We have the same shape. We go over 0.25. That would be left 0.25. Let's use correct terms, Mr. Runyon, like we learn in math. And we come down 0.5 inches. Very good. Now for this one, it's pretty straightforward. We just draw a line from here to here like this. And now we want to make sure. Now, if we were to cheat, or try to cheat anyway, and go like this right here, you'll notice that if I take and measure from this line to this line, it is not a 1/4 inch. It's actually 5/10 of an inch, or 0.2. That's not good enough. So I'm going to undo what I just did there. Now let's do it correctly. We will use offset to get it to be the right size. We'll set our width as 0.25. And if it doesn't go to the correct side, the option that we have is either using the text box up here to flip it, and you'll notice that it just changes the sign. That's all you need to do, as we also learned in math, that negative changes the direction. So we just change the direction. There we go. Now let's clean it up a little bit. You'll notice that right here, it goes past. We'll trim that part off. Okay, and then let's go back out. Let's zoom in on this part. And what we want to do is extend this line. So using the line tool, click here, and you'll notice that it tends to snap to, and see the two little double lines right there. That means it's extending the line. That's what we want it to do. We don't want it to be slightly off. We want it to be extended. There we go. So then I'll go ahead and zoom back out by rolling my mouse button. There we go. And then we're going to clean it up a little bit so that when we do our rotational revolution to take our sketch and make it beautiful, make it 3 dimensions, it'll be all good. There we go. So now we go ahead and finish this sketch. Use revolve. And if any of these tools are not visible here, you can always click on create and see them on this spot here. So click here, and now it's asking for the axis of revolution. So we want to click on the side right here. Voila, there we go. Then it's up to you to do the drawing for this part. So I'm going to go ahead now and switch over to the next video, or next shape, so that we can get going from there. So we're going to now do stack number 2 is what I call it. And we'll see it right here. There we go. This is what it looks like. And this is what stack number 2 looks like in person, right? So we're going to take stack number 2, bring it over here, and this is what we're drawing. So there are some pretty tricky spots here. I'm going to come back and refer to it. With this shape, it's not all visible exactly on there, and sometimes you get a drawing that is that way, and we're just going to deal with it. Not all of the things are on here. You can find them, and that's okay. What my plan is to start here on the bottom left side of the cutout view, and I'm going to march along this line here, come up like this, draw a line around this way. We'll also need to draw this line as well. No, we don't. We just draw this line right here, come around like this, and then we'll draw these radiuses, these radii. Now, if we're using, excuse me, if we were using Inventor Pro, these things are quite simple, but we're going to do a workaround fix that is mathematically absolutely perfect, and will make it work really well. So I'm not going to leave you dangling on that one. I'll just help you out and make this straight up. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and set this off to the side. When we get to that other part, I'll show you. We're going to start with a new drawing. I didn't save this last one because I have plenty of copies. But we go ahead and start with a new one just by clicking on the plus here, new design. And we're going to start our sketch on the front view. And I really prefer lining up the view here and clicking on the space. I make fewer errors that way. When I'm drawing, I like to make fewer errors. So this one, I'm going to just start drawing. So this one here, I'm going to go ahead with the line tool. March, I'm not dragging, I'm just moving the mouse. Notice how it's snapping to 0 degrees. That's a nice thing. And we're going 0.25. Well, that's kind of tiny, so I'm going to zoom in by rolling my mouse button. Okay, we're going to do the same tool again. If you're using Inventor Pro, I believe you push the space bar and it allows you to do that again. This time it snapped right to it, so I was able to just click and go. That's great. And so, boy, I'm already getting ahead of myself. It looks to me like I was supposed to go up farther than that. So let me go ahead and undo that last step. And by looking at the drawing right here, right, we're going up 7.5. And then it looks like we come out 0.025 up. It happens to be, if I do the math, it's also 0.025. Then we're going to come back here, which is, if we do the math here, we've got the difference between these two. It's going to be 0.05. So we'll go ahead and do those right now. All right, start here. Work our way straight up, 0.75. Then we're going to come out, 0.025. Zoom in on this part here so we can see what's going on. We'll do it again. This time we're coming up. In fact, look at that. It's going to click. It's going to snap on for mine. I can either type it or snap in. That's cool, because then I can just go on to the next one if I just snap. And there's my 0.05. Okay. Now, the tricky part is coming to be. What we need to do is, let me get zoomed in here. Yeah, that's zoomed weird. All right, here we go. What we need to do here is we need to draw this line. We need to have this spot right here and this spot right there. So we have to determine that. So it looks like we need to go from here, 0.223 to come back to this far. And then we go up 0.1 and come out 0.09. Then this should get us where we need to be based on the drawing. So let's go ahead and try it out. Okay. So I know that the axis here is where it needs to be. We'll see if the math is correct, because it looks like we've got to go to 0.225. So there is an error there. I need to fix on that drawing. It should be 0.225, not 0.223. That would make a little hole in there. So we're going to go to this 0.225. I will change the drawing. We need to come up now, 0.1. And then we need to come out, according to the drawing. We're going to come out. we're going to go out 0.1. Once again, I'm going to change that drawing a little bit. It just makes sense. I don't know why we would go to 0.98. We'll probably find out here in a minute. I may have to just start over in the video. Wouldn't that be lovely? Okay, so here we go. Now this is the part that if you're in Inventor Pro, you can go here, use the Arc tool, and use the first option, and just click here, click there, and then type in the amount of angle. The problem with this is, in Fusion 360, you can get one that looks about right, like this, which is probably pretty close, but I could also accidentally get lower like this, or higher here. So in order to you know what, I'm seeing that thing snap right in there. You know, I'm going to try something. Let's go ahead and pause this video. We're going to try something. And I may come back. Well, that was kind of cool. I did a test, and this isn't accurate. This part right here is bad. So even though it looks good, it's not precise enough. We need to be exactly accurate. Now, because we don't have that tool in Fusion 360, this part we need to do with just knowing our mathematics. And we're using geometry for this one. So we're looking to get a diameter right here from this point to this point right here. We're trying to get a diameter of 1.38. And it just so happens that if I times not the diameter, the radius of 1.38, of course, to get the diameter, we have to do twice that much. And the reason why we need the diameter is we take two circles, right, like this, and this is twice as much. And so twice as much is going to be 0.276. That gives us the diameter, that same radius. We do the same thing from here. Okay, and you'll notice that I don't want to go straight to here because it gives me a weird figure. So I've got to type it in, 0.276. Now, it sets a point right here that if I, at the intersection of these two circles, also do 0.276, it happens to be geometrically perfect place to put the radius that these plans are calling for. Now that looks like a mess. So we need to just clean it up using the tool that we have, which is called Trim Tool. So I'll just zoom in here so we can see what we're doing. Modify it, just go ahead and erase everything that we don't want. So we want the lines there that we had before, so we don't want to invade them. Let's see, do we want this line? Yep, we want that line, but we don't want this one. Here, we don't want that circle going around. Here and there. And we know we've got it all right because it'll now give us only one angle right here. Do you see everything else is gone? And it gives us the point that it is rotating around, which is kind of useful. All right, so now we'll do the similar thing for the top piece. So using this tool here, we'll go up, looks like 0.5 millimeter. No, whatever, 0.05 millimeters, not millimeters, inches. Sorry about that, 500 millimeter inches. That's what we get for using our printers that were like millimeters. Alrighty, so now for this one right here, as you look at the plans, we need to have a radius of 0.121. Timesing that by 2, of course, that's going to be 2, 4, 1. So we'll go right here, right? So we're going to do now a diameter of 0.242. And I do the same thing here. I just want to get away from the stuff so it doesn't snap in on me. 0.242. Now we need to be very careful because they've got a lot of lines in here. We want to make sure that we get the right one. So I'm going to zoom in here, grab right to that spot where they intersect and do 0.242. Enter. Now if I back out, that's going to be a really nice thing. So we just got to go through now and erase the stuff that we don't need. So we don't need that one. Do you see? I can just click on them, or I can drag my mouse around as long as I'm not going to accidentally get one that I need. Remember, if you do get one that you need, that's okay. Just do undo, Control Z. That works really well. Let's see, when you get them all, ooh, there's a little one right there. 2 of them. Right there. Is it all kit and caboodle there? Is it all good? Oh, there's another one right there. See it? There we go. I think I got them all. All right. So it looks to me like we're ready now. We've got all these pieces. We need to do one more line. We'll just come from the top here to the bottom. It makes it a full sketch that fills in automatically. And what we'll do is go ahead and finish the sketch. Use our really cool revolve tool. Clicking on the axis is right here in the middle. Make sure we get all of these pieces. Okay, then we do the axis here. You know, I want to review that again because that was kind of weird. So when I did the revolve, it didn't choose anything, so it wanted me to pick some shapes. So it stayed here, and that's okay. I can just keep through clicking as many as I want, but when I'm ready, I click on axis here, so now I can choose the axis for it to revolve around. Click OK, take a look. It looks beautiful. Very, very nice and very precise. Okay. Now this video is getting awfully long, so I'm going to go ahead and do another video and separate these out. So we'll do the third and final stack on the next video.